Here we have the 2021 Salem Hemisphere 29XBHL. This is a video walkthrough for it. We'll start up front, make our way around, and we'll head inside. So up front you got two batteries up here, 12 volt. This is has a solar panel on it, so it has solar charging. Then you got your propane tanks here. This cover slides off so you can take your tanks off to get them filled, or you can undo these tabs up here and you got access to the top. Turn on your gas tanks that way, and then your regulators right here. I'll take this off to show you. So your regulator right here, you have a little dial right here that has a little arrow that's pointing to what tank is drawing from. You can turn it to point to the other tank, and then you can use that one. And then right here you can see it's green. Once this tank goes empty, the one it's pointing to, that'll turn red. But if you have both tanks on, it'll automatically switch over and start drawing from the other one if it's on. But this will stay right here, just the valve inside will switch over. But that window will still be red if that tank is empty that it's pointing to. So it's a good indicator to tell if your tank is full or not. Then you have your tongue jack, you have up and down. Then you have the light when you're hooking up when it's dark out. You got your chains and 7-way right here with a nice little spot to store them. Then you have your breakaway cable right here. And this you'll hook next to your chains. You won't hook them on your chains. That's basically emergency brake, just in case. Then to the side you have a storage compartment, and these have magnets on it so it holds open the door for you. A nice pass-through storage up front. You have a battery disconnect right here, so you can turn this key, pull it out, and your batteries are shut off, so you're not drawing power off the batteries. Then this right here, this is for the solar charging. This is the charge controller. Then you have the crank right up on the wall. That is for your stabilizer jacks. There is another crank on the bottom. That's for the front tongue jack. If you blow a fuse or if your battery dies, you can't get power, you can manually crank it up and down. Then the blue hose, there's a spray port on the other side. I'll show you that once we get over there, but that's what that is for. And these are slam locks, so you can just let it go and it'll shut on its own. And I mentioned stabilizer jacks, so this is one of them. There's 4 of them, one on each corner. You'll get the unit leveled and unhooked before you crank those down. Once you're leveled, you can crank them down till they hit the ground, or if you have blocks underneath of them. Once they're touching, give it 1/2 to 3/4 of a crank. Just put a little pressure on it. You don't want to try and lift up the unit with them because it will bend those jacks. Then you got an outside shower right here. It just has hot and cold water, so if you go to the beach or whatever, you can rinse off the sand or whatever. Then you have your water stations right here. So this one right here, this is for your city water, so that's where you'll hook up your water hose when you're at a campground. That gives you direct water to all your faucets. Then you have your freshwater connection here. There is a portable water tank. So when you're traveling, you'll have water on board with you. If you have to stop at a rest area or whatever, you can use the bathroom inside, or if you go to a state park or a place that doesn't have water hookups. And that is the same. These are all the same kind of connection, so you just put your hose in there and you can twist that on. This top one is your black tank flush. Don't accidentally put your hose up to here and think it's your city water, because it will fill up your black tank and then it'll make a mess inside. So when you go and dump your tanks, you'll hook a hose up to here. You'll have your black tank valve open. Once that's drained, then you can put water through there. It's just a little spray port in there to rinse things out and clean off your sensors. Like I said, make sure the valve is open, and all your sewer connections are right here. So it has one outlet, that cap just screws off. You have 2 gray tanks. The front one will be for your bathroom, so the sink and shower. And then this tank on this side will be for the kitchen sink. Then this valve in the back right here, you can pull it down right there. That is your black tank, so that's your toilet water. Usually you pull the black tank first, drain that out, and then you can pull the gray tank valves and it'll flush out your sewer hose for you. Then you have your power cord. This is where it hooks up. This is a 50 amp unit because there's an air conditioner, a fireplace, and the water heater runs on electric. So if you're running the air conditioner and the electric for the water heater, you'll definitely need that 50 amps. Also, you could get another air conditioner, but it's not pre-wired for it, so that's why it's 50 amps. So when you go to a campground or wherever, make sure you get the 50 amp service. If not, you can get an adapter to go from a 50 to a 30 amp, and then you'll do that. You'll just have to be careful of what you're running at once. All right, moving on down. This is the slide. Then right here you got what they call the baggage door or bike door. So you could store bikes in here, easy access to stuff. Then you have your water heater right here. So that tab just twists, and then you can pull this cover off. Like I said, this is electric. It's also gas, so you can run it off propane, and it's electric ignition, so it lights on its own. You don't have to come out here and light a pilot. The switch is inside for that. For the electric, the switch is right here. It's just a simple on-off switch. You can turn this switch on, and you could use the breaker inside as the switch, but just be careful of that because you definitely want to make sure there's water inside of the tank before you turn them on. This one is all prepped, so there's already water in it. And this right here is just a vent for the exhaust for the gas, so this will get pretty warm if you're using the gas. Other stabilizer jack, spare tires back here. These units are prepped for backup camera. This one, the customer wanted the backup camera, so that's installed. So that's what that would look like. Then you got your cable and satellite hookups here for TV. Other stabilizer jack. Then you got the main entry door, and this has a solid steps. I'll go over that in a few minutes. A couple outside speakers. In between that, this right here is the vent for the stovetop. So there's a little panel in there that will pop off and allow you to vent it. When you're traveling or not using it, make sure it's snapped in. That way no water or bugs get inside. Then you have an outside TV mount, so you could take the TV and bring it out here. And then you got the cable hookup for that TV, and then you also got some outside outlets. What they're doing on the new units is they're putting this little hook right here, and so that's where you could hook your dog. It even says it right here, campers for dog people. So that's pretty nice. And inside the bunk room, I don't know if you noticed it, but there was also one in there too. And then you have the exhaust for your furnace. Just make sure nothing's in the way of this, and definitely don't touch it while using it because that will get pretty hot. Then you have the spray port, which I was talking about, that blue hose, and it's just like an air hose connection. You push back the coupler, put the hose in there, and it's just a little spray nozzle. It's only cold water, so you have that. Then this door right here, this one does not have a magnet on it because the window's right there, but it's just this style door hold back. You pull that open, shut the door, and then that'll just hold it open for you. So you got a dorm fridge right here. You could keep drinks inside here, so you don't have to keep going in and out if you're hanging out outside. Then you got a nice little grill right here. And this has a quick connect for the propane. The hose right here, and that is right under here. You'll connect it right there. So this end of the hose, just take that dust cap off. And this is like an air hose connection too, so you just pull this back, put the hose in there. Once it's locked in, you have a valve right here, and that'll allow the gas to flow through. The gas will only flow through if that hose is connected, so even if this valve is turned, gas will not come out. And this has a dust cap too. Definitely want to make sure this one is on, so no dirt gets up in there, and mud wasps, they like to hide in those kind of places. So definitely make sure that's on. And then your hose, you can just leave it connected, but this part does come on hook too, just like that. But you could just leave it connected. Alright, and then this is on drawer sliders, so it just pulls in and out. Alright, we'll close that. Then the last thing is just the other side of the storage compartment. Same thing, has magnets. This side, it does have a light right here for a push button, and then this light switch right here. You have an LED strip up front, so you can light it up at night when you're out camping. All right, now we'll head towards the door. All right, so you got a nice big grab handle right here. To open and close this, you just lift up on it, and then you can turn it for travel, and it'll just lock in like that. Then lift up on it again, and then it's out for use. Open your door. For these steps, your door does have to be all the way open, because it'll catch on these, and that is what holds the door or the steps in for traveling. So you just push it in, and there's a little lever right here that locks it in, so for traveling it won't go anywhere and bang against the door. I got a little grab handle right here, so all you have to do is just pull this open, and then you can pull down the steps just like that. And on each side there's a little, where's it, right here, a little trigger. You can press that in and adjust the length of the legs, because some ground's uneven, so you have to adjust them every now and then. You want to adjust it so that this plate is resting on the bottom of the door sill. That way your door can open and close freely. If it's up too high or whatever, the door won't shut properly, or it might catch on it and it could scrape the paint off. So just be careful of that. Then you have the screen door, and there's a little slider right here. That way, if it's a nice breezy day, you could have the door open, but not let bugs in. All right, now we'll move inside. To the left of the door is your fire extinguisher. Always nice to know where that is. To the right when you walk in is a nice little closet area. And this has a motion sensor light in it. There's a switch right over here, so you can turn it to the left or to the right. I'm not sure which one is the motion setting, but you can figure that out. There's a little motion sensor right there. So if you have it on the motion sensing setting, once you close the door, it'll take a few seconds, then it'll shut off, and then every time you open the door, it'll come back on again. All right, walking in, right here is the entertainment area. You got your fireplace, TV, radio, speakers. This is also a DVD player, so it's already wired to the TV and stuff, so all you have to do is just put a DVD in there and you can watch a movie. It's just like a radio, you got all your settings and stuff. And then you have zone A and B. So there's speakers inside and outside. I believe zone A is inside and zone B is outside. So you can have them on and off. If you're watching a movie, you don't want it playing outside. And then if someone's taking a nap inside or whatever and you're outside, you can listen to music outside. Then you have the monitor panel and control center right here. So at the top is the monitor panel section. You can just push these buttons and it'll light up right there, telling you how full your tanks are and how charged your battery is. So you got the freshwater tank, which is the portable water, then your battery right there, and then your black tank, and then your two gray tanks. And then it says aux right here. That is nothing. There's only 3 tanks on here. Then you got the water pump switch that you'll turn on when you're using the freshwater tank. If you're hooked up to the city water, you don't need to worry about that. Then you got the water heater switch. This is for the gas. Flip that on. This DSI fault light will come on. That's telling you that it's not lit. It'll take a couple seconds because it is electronic ignition. It'll try 3 times. If it doesn't try in those 3 times, yeah, it just lit, so the light went out. But if it tries 3 times and the light is still on, that means it did not light. All you have to do is just shut it off. Make sure your propane tanks are on. Make sure there's propane in them, and then just try it again. Then this is equipped with tank heaters. So on the bottom of the black and gray tanks, there's little heating pads. So if you're traveling or if you're in weather where it's kind of a little chilly and you're worried about things freezing, you can turn that on and it'll just keep the tanks from freezing. Because they are underneath, they're more exposed to the weather. Then you got 2 light switches. This one is for the awning. There's an LED strip under the awning. And then this is for the inside. The last 2 is the awning and slide room. Your awning's right here, so you press out and hold it. And your awning will roll out. With the electric awnings, they don't stop on their own. So you have to watch it while rolling it out. There'll be a valance that'll fold down and you'll be able to see the bare tube. Once you can see that, just let off the switch. If you keep holding it, it'll roll up backwards, so you just want to be careful. So right about there, once it's vertical, then you just let off. Then on each side, there's a little pivot point. So right here, and there's another one over there. So you can pull this down. I'll just put a little pitch on the awning, so if it's sprinkling out, the water can run off. But if it starts downpouring, roll in your awning, because it tends to pool in the middle of the fabric and it'll stretch it out. You don't want that to happen. And then if it's really windy, you want to roll it in as well, because this is basically a giant kite. So a big gust comes in and it could rip it off. And then when you're going in for the night, just roll it in too, because you don't know what's going to happen while you're sleeping. And then rolling it in, you just press and hold it until it stops. It is a little slow, but that's just because it's a big awning. And that's just how it's geared. But patience is always a good thing. Alright. Alright, now it stopped, so we let off the switch. Then the last one's your slide room, so you got in and out. So it's your dinette booth seating and your sofa right here. It's all of this right here. That's the slide room that comes in and out. It'll come into about the edge of the counter right there. So with this in, it does block off the bathroom and the bunk room. All you have to do is just press it in and out and it'll stop on its own. Alright, so we'll start in the rear. You got the bunk room. You got 2 bunks up there. You got this little nice couch area. That'll also fold down into a bed. And like I said, you got the little hook there. There's actually 2 in here, so you can strap things down in here. You got a light switch here for the ceiling lights, and then there's a little push button right here. You have USB ports here to charge your phone or devices. And then you got an outlet right here. And then there's another outlet there with a TV hookup, so you could have a TV inside here. And then a couple drawers there for storage. And then this has barn style door on it, so this latch is for travel to keep it secure. And then it'll just slide. There's a magnet on the end of it that'll connect to that plate, so it makes it a little hard to open, which is nice. It won't slide open on you. But for traveling, definitely make sure that's strapped in. Then your sofa right here, this is a jackknife. It's not a jackknife sofa, but it folds out into a bed. You take those cushions off, and then you just pull up on the bottom and it'll come out. There's 2 legs you'll fold down, and then the back of it folds down as well, and then you get a nice little bed there. The dinette seating, the table pulls out and you can rest it down and put the cushions over it, and that makes into a bed as well. And then you got some lights above it, and those are manual push buttons ones. And then you got your little push button right here for the light. And all the windows have roller shades on them, so you just pull down on them, and you got your shades. Then your fridge is right here. This little handle, it's not a handle, but it's a little lock for traveling, so your fridge won't open. And then just open that up, and then your fridge, you can open it. This is a 12-volt fridge, so it runs off your battery, but when you're plugged in, your battery's being charged, so you won't have to worry about your battery going dead once you're plugged in. You got your setting button right here, so you can change the temperature, 5 being coldest, 1 not so cold. And then to turn off the fridge, you just press and hold it until the lights go out. And then you get the freezer up here, and the temperature control setting up there for the freezer. Household microwave, your cooktop right here. This will fold up. Then to turn on the stove, the stove, you got a little sparker right here. You just push that to the flame, hit the sparker, and it'll light up. Same thing with your oven right there. And then you got light switches right there. Then you got the stovetop fan and the light right there. Some storage up top and some drawers. And then under the sink, it actually comes with a trash can. And then this is a nice little feature. You can rinse off your vegetables or whatever. A nice little drying rack for dishes. Then this little side counter will fold up and give you some more space if you're cooking or whatever. Then your thermostats right here. So this big button is your mode selector. So you got fan high and low, cool high and low, then auto high and low, and then you got your heat, and then the arrows are your temperature control. Then the bathroom area, you got a little bit of shelf storage there and a counter space. Your sink, medicine cabinet with a mirror. Then all your outlets are GFI protected. This is the main GFI, just like at your house. You got your reset button. And this has the same sliding door that one does. Actually, all 3 have that sliding door. Light switch here for the lights in the bathroom. And then you got your fan vent right here. And the switches right here. And that, you do have to have this switch on for that fan to come on. You got your shower with the little shower door right here. So you just pull it and it'll lock. And then you push it in, or if you're in the shower, you'll pull it out. And then you just hold it while it slides in. If you just let go, it'll snap back and it could break. Then your toilets right here, you got your foot lever to flush it. Some more storage right here. Then you got the main bedroom with some storage on the sides. And then in the back by the headspace, you got little counter bedside tables, I guess you could call them. And there's some outlets and USB ports there. Then you got overhead lights. Light switch right here for the ceiling. There is a vent right here, but this one does not have a fan. And then you got TV hookup there, so you can have a TV mounted to the wall there as well. And then behind this door, that box right there, that's your converter. And that's just where all your fuses and breakers are. Okay, so that is everything to do with the 2021 Salem Hemisphere.